I just want to divide this into two parts. Qualitative and quantitative research. And the first half of the lecture, I'm going to focus on the qualitative research methods. Each of these has different attributes, and just to contrast quantitative and qualitative research. Each has an analytical objective that you've defined, and then types of questions asked. Your hypotheses will be in with the analytical objectives. And here, there's a lot of focus on case studies, individual, like one-on-one case studies, and it describes individual experiences and beliefs, where a quantitative research method casts a much wider net. And here you will try to sample a population, and your sample population might be a group of people with a certain characteristic, or you may have an intervention and then a control group, and you want to compare the two groups. The analytical objectives are different for qualitative versus quantitative research. The qualitative research has more open-ended questions, whereas quantitative research has definite, like, closed-ended questions, testable hypotheses, which can be accepted, or you failed to reject a hypothesis, and or you accept the alternative hypothesis. So when you're doing your data collection, there's also some key differences between qualitative research and quantitative research methods. In the qualitative research methods, you spend a lot of time interviewing subjects. You have focus groups. There's participant observations, and these are just semi-structured methods. A lot of times the person you're interviewing, their answers, will guide you to the next question. So you can take a different path with every person, whereas quantitative research methods is more rigid. So you have highly structured methods, structured observations, and it also uses questionnaires and surveys as well. And then when it comes time to having your data, and after it's collected, the form of the data is different between qualitative and quantitative research methods. So qualitative is more descriptive data. A lot of the answers will can guide the interviewer different directions. And then the quantitative research method, you're dealing with numerical data, which can be analyzed using the standard statistical test, whether it's parametric or non-parametric statistics. And then the qualitative research is, you have an advantage here. You have very flexible study, where the responses affect how and which questions are asked next by the researchers. And then for quantitative research methods, I mentioned, it's very rigid, very structured. So here, the participant responses have no effect on which questions the researcher will ask next. So it's, they just go through, and you have to have a study population, and they all have to be asked like the same questions. So it's less flexible. I think that's why the qualitative research methods are much more commonly used in social science.